Hello, this is Mrs. Hill, and I'm going to give you an introduction to NoodleTools. So, of course, you will go to NoodleTools.com, and then you will click Login. You will type in your username and password here that I have emailed to you. We may use this Microsoft login at some point, but we are still using the standard login. Remember, do not add the @johncooper.org section. You're just going to use the first part of your username and click Sign In. So when you log in, there isn't a whole lot to see until you create a project. So each time you need to create a bibliography, you would select New Project. And you're going to title it whatever your teacher tells you. If your teacher isn't specific about it, just name it whatever works for you. We are MLA, typically in English classes. If your teacher specifies APA, then choose that. MLA is typically the one we use for English classes. You're always going to select Advanced. Okay, so once you're in a project, let me just show you the dashboard. So the beginning here is your project details. You can type in a research question if that's helpful to you or if it's required. You can also do a thesis or a hypothesis if that's helpful to you or if it's required. Then this is the sharing section. If your teacher says share with my project inbox, then you would click this button here and you would start typing in your teacher name, and typically you would find their box there. Okay, this is not required and you're only going to do it if the teacher asks you to do it. If you are sharing a project with a student, you can add a student collaborator here by searching for their ID. So that's kind of handy. You also have a to-do list down here. If this is a big, lengthy project and you want to add in some tasks and some due dates, this is a great place to do that, okay? Next, we are going to go to the sources section. To start with, you're going to create a new source, and then you're going to choose, where it's located. Whether it's located on the database, a website, whether it's a print book or other, okay? Once you do that, then you will fill out the details here, okay? And I have a lengthier video on citations that I will link below. This is just a brief overview for now. I will point out, once you're creating your source, if you say, oh, I chose the wrong one, there's a menu here to switch. So if on database and I realize I'm not actually on a database, I'm on a website, then you can click right there to make that change. Once you have several sources, you can click here on the Sources tab to locate all of them. One thing that's kind of nice here, if your source is a web page or a journal article from the databases, you will have a link here that will take you directly back to that source. So that can be super helpful and keep you efficient when you're going back and forth to different sources. Next, you have a note card section. Again, this is super helpful if you have a lengthy project. And I can go into more depth on that later. But right now, I'm just giving you a quick overview. Okay, so that's pretty much how you get started with NoodleTools. Let me know if you have any questions.